Just gotta rule out if there's some sort of virus. I ate McDonald's and then proceeded to sit there for probably an hour, kind of hunched over, nauseous, cramping, kind of lightheaded. See what they say. Getting a little bit of a sun shower. I don't know if you can see it. Just the lightest of rain. It actually almost looks like snow, which it could be, I guess. Finally getting out of Winter Park. Saw the doctor, got some meds, took a few days off, and I feel better. Still feel a little, maybe weak, probably from lack of eating. This morning I had a breakfast sandwich, a bread pudding square, a double cheeseburger, and a Coke for breakfast. So I was able to eat all that and not feel nauseous, so that's good. The neighbors of my Uncle John's came over and offered a ride into town or up to the pass the other day, so got a ride from the neighbor up back to Burthound Pass, and I'm on trail. I'm climbing up. So I think the plan for today, if I looked ahead correctly, is to get pretty much to the base of Gray's Peak, and then get over that thing tomorrow morning, hopefully before any type of precipitation happens, and while the day's still cool. And so yeah, hopefully I just continue to be able to eat and feel better. It's nice to be out in the mountains again after several days in town not feeling so well, so praise God.
So much pain and fear, who's to blame for this life that you've been leading? I know your heart, you don't want to be apart from this love that you've been missing.
Tailing. Not too hard though. Made it to the top of whatever. I don't know if this is just unnamed. I'll have to check. It's over 13 though. Whew. I guess I'd rather get this than rain, because it just bounces off me. Crazy. So I'm on the road up to Grays and Torrey's trailhead, and I've driven this at least up till I think there is where I parked my Fiat, because I bottomed out I think part way up or something and turned around and found that little pull off and then walked the rest. So I've walked this before from here about all the way to the top of Grays. So there's gonna be hopefully a campsite coming up in a little bit, a mile and a half or so. It's supposed to be a river. There better be a river, because if not, I don't have enough water. So that's where I plan on spending the night.
There's a sign in the sparkle of your wine, an empty glass, you're feeling so defeated, but you are numb, don't know where your help comes from. Don't you know with whom that you are seated? Well, I don't think you want to change. I don't think you want to change.
Made it to the top, Grays Peak, the highest point on the CDT, 14,200 something, I'm not sure. And I think the trail goes that way. See, that looks kind of exciting. Whew. That's where I came from. That's where I'm going. Not much of a trail. Down there's parking for Grays and Tories. Grays and Tories. You can at least see Tories, and then the spine I came across. And then that's where the trail goes. I've been following kind of the spine. It's pretty. Feels kind of sketchy. I mean, you can see behind me, like directly behind me, that this whole spine thing, that's the trail. And so you can kind of see footprints, not footprints, like a path, but not much. And there's a couple sections pretty exposed that, you know, had me feeling a little nervous. So this is probably the sketchiest part of the CDT so far, just after Grays. All right, Mount Edwards, 13.8. That traverse, just that ridge walk, I guess, of that spine. I don't know. It just made me think of, like I said, it felt sketchy, and not, you know, the baddest mountain man that ever lived, that's for sure. But I don't think I'm some sissy either. And you know, that's official trail. That's not like some alternate. Like coming up, there's the Argentine Spine alternate, which I'm guessing is maybe similar to like what I just did. A lot of exposure. So yeah, I did it though, and it's gorgeous. The weather is great. I am on, I'm sure it was like Geneva or something, but it's my third 13er of the day. You can see behind me, like Grays and Tories, that's where I came from. Went around over there, through a valley, and up over all this. Man, it's been a crazy day. It might be the most elevation I've done, or will be, in one day. It just keeps climbing. It just keeps climbing. It just keeps doing these like ridge walks. I thank God so much that it's been a nice day for it, because if it was, bad weather, raining or storming, one, it'd be dangerous. Two, it'd be kind of miserable. I'm already exhausted. So thanks, God. All right, 13er number 4 for the day. I don't know what it's called. Had a pretty exciting evening last night. I set up my tent just past this water. I'm at like 12,500 feet. And I'm cooking, and all of a sudden the wind picks up, blows my stove out, and it just gets real windy to where I'm questioning if my steaks are going to get pulled out. And then it starts to hail, I think, or maybe it was just rain. It got real windy. My one steak out here was getting pulled out, and I was having to hold my trekking pole in place so that my whole tent wouldn't fall down. Thankfully, the wind stopped, and I was able to reset my steak in a better spot. And then it continued to periodically be windy and rain. This is ice. All these are ice. Let's see here. It's all ice on my tent. So I guess it got kind of cold last night. So I think this ski resort is Breckenridge. Crazy. I guess that makes sense. I think I'm doing, like a big semicircle today, 24 mile or something, to get into Breckenridge. But for now, this is Whale Peak, and it is a 13er, which, not too bad when I slept at 12,500 feet. And I'm gonna put my camera away. All right, 13,000 feet before 8 a.m. Not too shabby. Just ran into my first thru hiker since coming out of Grand Lake, and it's someone I knew, Samurai, one of the guys from Japan. So he was staying at a trail angel's house in Frisco and is hiking north to go over Gray's Peak. It's crazy, you can still see Gray's and Torrey. I guess that's not too crazy, but yeah, it was cool running into him again, doing this nice little ridge right now. And you take basically 6 days off. Bunch of people, hopefully get to see a bunch of people that I've met before, and possibly that I haven't seen for a while, or even since Glacier maybe, so who knows. Yeah. So one thing that I forgot to mention about the storm last night, when I was holding my trekking pole, trying to keep my tent in place, trying to keep that stake from getting ripped out, I prayed that God would calm the storm. And shortly after that, the wind died down and the rain stopped. Enough. It pretty much almost, the rain stopped completely, the wind died down enough that I could get out, re-secure my stakes, and get back in my tent. And the wind and rain picked up a little bit, but not as nearly as bad as that first time. So, yeah, thank you, Jesus. Made it back onto the Colorado Trail. The comments at the junction were pretty funny. There's one for SOBOs that said, "Don't worry, SOBOs, the CDT can't hurt you now," or something like that. And then the one for NOBOs said, "The Colorado Trail made us soft. Prepare for the CDT in its true form." Just funny because like what I just came down and from even just this morning, like I was going cairn to cairn across, just sort of open cross-country fields. Sometimes there'd be a path, sometimes there wasn't. And then coming down like a real rough road that it's probably been closed for a while. And so coming from the Colorado Trail, look at how nice and smooth and packed down this is. And then it just sends you straight up. If you're going north, it sends you straight up this rough hill and then immediately into cairn to cairn travel. And then, also if you were continuing on like what I did yesterday, just all those up and downs, 13ers, pretty rough for a hiking trail, but fairly standard for the CDT. So I thought those comments were funny. So I did the Colorado Trail in 2022 and I really enjoyed it. And so I had some people ask if I would skip these miles, 300 I think miles is shared with the CDT, because I've already hiked them. I said no. In fact, I'm looking forward to hiking them again. So here we are, back on the Colorado Trail, and excited to hike these 300 miles again. Bada bing boom. Trying to see if I can catch a flash of lightning. Hasn't been raining. It's a little bit. Get a boom. Thankfully, I already hit my high point for the day. Well, yeah, earlier at Whale Peak, and then I'm just coming down from another, kind of high point, just a crest. Been in the woods the whole time. So, however, I was in the woods and at lower elevation when I almost got hit by lightning on the Appalachian Trail. I don't know. I think sometimes you just gotta play the odds. It sounds like it's getting further away, so. Although lightning can travel 5 miles or something like that. Someone needs to fact check me on that. Let me know, because I don't know if that's true. It's something I've heard.
I don't think you want to change, I don't think you want to
Copper Mountain. It's a resort down there. So I'm pretty sure the trail drops down into this valley. It goes like right by like one of those buildings, the ski lodge, and then I'm pretty sure we climb up and like over up that mountain, if I remember correctly, which is another big mountain to climb. And I just got to the top of this ridge, which is basically the top of Breckenridge Ski Resort. There's a chairlift just over on the other, you can't see it, but just over on the other side there, the chairlift tops out. So really pretty view, really nice day. I think tomorrow's gonna be not so nice. Or is it tomorrow? Or it's Friday maybe. Not so nice, but I'm gonna enjoy today and enjoy the views. And yeah, there was a nice breakfast at the bivvy this morning and nice bus system in Breckenridge to get around and get back to trail. In 22 Colorado Trail, I just hitched both to and from trail, and that worked quicker than the bus, but this time took the bus and worked out good. Yeah, it's a gorgeous day.
Seasons change, but you remain the same. I hope to God someday His light will find you. I've seen your strength and what a difference you would make. To know you've died and risen to a life brand new. I don't think you want to change. I hope